God says, unexpected money. Today you will receive a gift after praying to Jesus. Prayer for money. Dear friend, hear this message with the full understanding that it is not by coincidence that you are listening today. This is a divine moment, a breakthrough that is being delivered straight to you. If you're between the ages of 30 and 65, struggling or quietly suffering in your spirit while waiting for God's promise to come to pass, then rest assured that God has heard your cry. You are not here by accident, and what you're about to receive is a divine blessing, a financial miracle that will transform not just your bank account, but your entire life. This is the time for you to receive God's favor in a tangible, overwhelming way. And it's arriving right at this very moment. God is speaking to you through this message, confirming that your breakthrough is not a matter of if, but when. The waiting, the doubts, the hardships that you've faced, they are about to come to an end. This is the moment you've been praying for, the breakthrough that will realign your life with God's plan for prosperity. As it is written in Psalm 20, verse 1, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you." Your moment of trouble is coming to an end. What you are about to experience is a divine answer to your prayers, a tangible gift from God that will change everything. This isn't just about money. It's about the transformation of your entire being. God's provision isn't just spiritual, it's also practical. Your life is about to shift, and this financial breakthrough will be a sign that God's hand is actively working in your life. He is restoring not only your finances, but also your peace of mind, your hope, and your future. The worries that have plagued you will be washed away as the abundant blessings of the Lord pour into your life. As the scripture tells us in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, "But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day." This is not just a random act of kindness, it is a fulfillment of God's covenant with you. His promise to bless you abundantly is now being activated in your life. In this moment, remember that God's provision is not just about what you can see, but also about what is being aligned behind the scenes. Your finances, your relationships, your purpose, they are all being set up for a miraculous breakthrough that will enable you to step into the calling God has for you. Trust in His perfect timing. What you are receiving is not just for you, but for His greater purpose. God is not blessing you so that you can simply store it for yourself. He is blessing you so that you can be a channel of blessing to others. Your wealth will serve as a tool for His kingdom. And this will be the beginning of a powerful season of growth and impact in your life. God has heard your prayers, and today He is giving you the gift you've long awaited. The financial miracle that will change your life is already on its way. Don't doubt it. Don't question it. Receive it with open arms, knowing that this is God's will for you. This is a season of financial overflow, a season where the struggles of yesterday will seem like distant memories. Your breakthrough is not just a shift in your finances, it is a divine alignment with God's promises, a moment where everything that has been out of place will fall into order. So, take a moment right now to thank God. Thank Him for the breakthrough that is already on its way. Thank Him for the provision that is being unlocked for you, and trust that His timing is perfect. As you pray, know that this is the beginning of something great. God is not just about to bless you with money. He is about to bless you with a new life, a life filled with abundance, peace, and purpose. And remember, this blessing is just the beginning. God has much more in store for you as you continue to walk in His will. Keep your faith strong and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes. This is your moment. God is with you, and He is about to unlock the floodgates of heaven, pouring out a financial miracle so big that you will have no choice but to give all the glory to Him. Receive it now and step boldly into the future He has prepared for you. My dear friend, stay close to these words, for something extraordinary is about to unfold in your life. It may seem unexplainable to the natural mind, but in the Spirit, it is already in motion. You have cried in secret, questioned your worth, and wondered if your prayers have been heard. I want to reassure you today. Heaven has heard every word. You are not alone in your struggles, and this message is meant for you, the one who has suffered in silence, the one who has barely held on, the one who has doubted if a miracle could still happen for them. Let me boldly declare to you right now, your miracle has arrived. God says that you will be rich today, rich not just in your finances, but in your spirit, in your emotions, and in every area of your life. But there is one thing I must ask of you. Do not reject it. The power of receiving lies in your openness to it. Open your heart now and prepare to receive. When you hear a truth that resonates with you, speak these words aloud. I receive. These words are not just a declaration. They are keys that unlock divine grace and allow the floodgates of abundance to pour into your life. When you say, I receive, you are not merely agreeing with a message. You are aligning yourself with heaven's will. You are saying, I am ready for the blessings God has for me. It's more than just words. It's an act of faith that opens the doors to the miraculous. God's timing is always perfect. Remember what is written in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is He that giveth thee power to get wealth, that He may establish His covenant which He sware unto thy fathers as it is this day. This verse reminds us that wealth and abundance come from God, not by our own doing, but by His will to bless us. He has already ordained the wealth you will receive, not just financial wealth, but wealth of peace, joy, love, and opportunities that will enrich every area of your life. The path is set. Are you ready to receive it? Now, as you stand in this moment, ask yourself, are you ready to accept the blessings that have been prepared for you? Can you feel the shift in your spirit, the stirring of God's promise coming to life in your heart? His promise to you is not just a wish, it is a divine certainty. As Psalm 20, verse 1 says, "The Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee." This is not just a prayer. It is a divine defense, a shield against all forms of lack and limitation in your life. God is about to show up in a way you've never experienced before, and you must be ready to accept all He has for you. You may be wondering, what does this mean for me in practical terms? How does this miracle show up in my life? I assure you, the way it shows up will be beyond your expectations. It may come through an unexpected financial gift, an opportunity that seems too good to be true, or even through a sudden peace that overcomes your anxious heart. It may even come through the restoration of relationships or new doors opening in your career. However it comes, know this: God has ordained it for you. So now, I encourage you to hold on to the truth of what God is doing in your life. Speak it aloud when doubt tries to creep in. I receive. With these words, you are aligning yourself with God's blessings. Every time you say it, You are reinforcing your faith and confirming that you are ready to receive all that He has prepared for you. When you receive His blessings, you do not just take them for yourself. You use them to bless others, to be a vessel of His goodness and grace. For as He blesses you, you are called to be a blessing to those around you. Let me ask you, what are you expecting from God today? Are you ready to walk into your miracle? God's promises are true, and His blessings are for you. Receive them today. Speak those powerful words, "I receive," and watch as your life begins to change in ways you never thought possible. The time for your miracle has arrived. It's time to claim it. Beloved friend, let me speak to you today, not just with empty words, but with a message that comes straight from heaven. This is more than fleeting hype or temporary encouragement. This is the eternal truth of divine timing. The Almighty does not follow the ticking of the clock in our world. He works in seasons. And guess what? Your season has arrived. You've walked through the wilderness long enough, and now the drought is over. You're standing at the threshold of something mighty. God's word says in Psalm 20, verse 1, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you." This isn't just a nice-sounding verse. It's a promise, a guarantee from the Creator of the universe Himself that He will step into your situation and provide exactly what you need, at just the right time. God is not some distant figure removed from your struggles. He is a God of action, a God who sees your pain and hears your cries, and He responds when the time is right. You've felt the weight of life's battles, the sleepless nights, the mounting bills, the pressure that feels like it's never ending. But today, that burden is about to be lifted. I encourage you now, do not let doubt steal this moment from you. God is working in your life right now, and you must position yourself to receive it. There is a financial door that is opening for you, and it doesn't come from human manipulation or the latest strategy you might read about online. This door is a divine provision that only comes from God Himself. This is not about you earning or working harder for something you don't deserve. It is a blessing from a Father who knows your every need. He has seen your tears, heard your prayers, and now He is moving on your behalf. This is the moment to elevate your faith and raise your expectations higher than ever before. Say it out loud. I receive. Because, my friend, when faith and expectation collide, miracles are born. I want to share with you a testimony that shows just how real this divine timing is. Jorge, a man who felt broken beyond repair, found himself in a place many of us have been. No job, his wife seriously ill, and bills mounting higher than hope itself. He prayed, but it felt like God was silent. Maybe you felt the same way. Perhaps you've cried out, "God, where are you? Why is this happening?" But something incredible happened when Jorge stopped trying to impress God and simply cried out from his heart, "God, if you are real, do something because I can't take it anymore." That simple, raw prayer pierced the heavens. The very next day, a friend Jorge hadn't heard from in years reached out, offering financial assistance. Not long after, a job offer appeared, and it came without him even applying. On top of that, his wife began to recover. This is not a coincidence. This is divine orchestration. God working behind the scenes in ways only He can. And let me tell you, the same God who worked miracles for Jorge is ready to do the same for you. But you must respond. Say it again. I receive. Because the same atmosphere that brought Jorge his miracle is present and ready for yours. And do not think that God needs years to bless you. He can do it in mere minutes. Do you believe that? Then act like it. Here's the truth. It's not about whether God is willing to bless you. He is always willing. The real question is whether you're prepared to receive it. So many of us have been so used to struggle that when blessings come, we unconsciously reject them because we're not used to abundance. But let me make this clear. God is not sending you this message for mere entertainment. This is for your transformation. God is calling you to break free from the mindset of lack, of doubt, and of not enough. He wants to open your eyes to a new reality where wealth and provision aren't just possibilities, they're promises, as it's written in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. But you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth. You are not powerless in this situation. The power to create wealth, to walk in abundance, is being activated right now as you hear this word. You may feel like everything around you is crumbling, but God is faithful. He's about to show up in your life in a way that even your enemies will have no choice but to admit. That was divine. So I ask you, are you ready to receive the miracle that's waiting for you? Are you prepared to let go of the mindset of lack and open your heart to the abundance that God has in store? Now is the time to claim it. Step into this season of blessing with boldness and faith, knowing that God is about to change everything for you. Now pause. Breathe. Let this truth settle in your spirit. What you've been praying for is already on its way. The transfer is in process. Angels are being dispatched. Divine connections are aligning. The atmosphere is shifting in your favor. But you cannot afford to be passive. Faith without action is dead. If you want to see wealth appear, you must speak life, sow gratitude, and walk with expectation. Stop looking at your circumstances and start speaking to them. Tell your debt it must bow. Tell your fear it has no home in you. Tell your past it no longer defines your future. You have authority. And when you walk in that authority, mountains move. This is not a message of hype. This is a prophetic call to rise. Your miracle has arrived. God is not promising something far away. He is saying, today, right now. Don't reject it. Don't reason it away. Don't allow fear or logic to talk you out of what God has prepared. This is your moment. Seize it, declare it, own it, and walk in it. Because when heaven speaks, it never returns void. And today, heaven is speaking to you. Now speak back. Say it out loud. I receive. Then walk forward like it's already done. Because, in faith, it already is. Let me speak directly to your heart today. Because this message is not just about someone else's experience. It's about you. You see, the same God who transformed lives, the same God who opened doors for the hopeless, is the same God who is watching over you right now. Why do you believe that your situation is too complicated for Him? What makes you think He has run out of miracles? I am here to tell you that He hasn't. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The same power that changed lives in the past is available to you right now. God doesn't forget you. He doesn't turn His face away from those who seek Him. He never sleeps, never slumbers, and never abandons His people. But here's the truth many of us overlook. We're the ones who wander. We get consumed by the chaos of life, by worry, stress, and fear, and slowly we drift. We forget that the Creator of the universe is still seated on the throne, fully in control and fully present. We start listening to the noise of the world instead of the whisper of His Spirit. And so we find ourselves lost in confusion, questioning His presence, questioning His plan for our lives. I want to take you back to a powerful moment in the Bible, a moment that will remind you of who He is. Picture Jesus with His disciples in a boat, surrounded by a storm. Waves are crashing around them. The wind is howling, and the disciples are convinced that they are doomed. And what does Jesus do? He stands up. With all authority, he speaks to the storm and says, "Wind, calm down. Sea, be still." And immediately there was peace. Just like that, the storm obeyed. That same Jesus is with you now. The same voice that silenced the raging storm speaks peace to your heart today. Whatever storm you are facing, whether it's overwhelming debt, a medical report that has shaken your confidence, or a relationship that feels broken beyond repair, know this: Jesus is in the boat with you. Even if you don't hear him, even if it feels like he's silent, he is present, and he will not let you drown. Just as he didn't abandon the disciples, he will not abandon you. Psalm 20 verse 1 says, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you." Do you believe that? That promise was not just written for the past. It's written for you today. God has not forgotten you. He is still writing your story. Sometimes he waits until the last minute, not to test your strength, but to strengthen your trust. So let me ask you directly, have you ever felt overlooked by God? Have you ever felt like your prayers hit a ceiling and fall back to the ground? If so, you're not alone. Many have walked that valley, but hear me, those valleys are not signs of God's absence. They are invitations to walk closer with him. They are calls for you to lean in, to let him carry what you cannot. Remember Psalm 34, verse 18. "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." If that's you, this is your word today. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. God is setting something up behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. But he needs your heart to trust before your eyes can behold it. I want to share a story with you. A story about a woman who lost everything: her job, her income, and her confidence. Bills piled up, and fear almost swallowed her whole. But one night, after she cried out to God in total surrender, a breakthrough came. An unexpected check arrived in the mail the very next day. She laughed and wept at the same time, not because of the money, but because she knew that God had seen her. That same God who saw her sees you too. You are not alone in your struggles. God sees you, and he has already begun to move on your behalf. Your miracle is already in motion. It might not be visible yet, but trust that behind the scenes, things are being orchestrated for your good. Every detail of your life is being woven into his perfect plan. He knows what you need even before you ask, and he is ready to bless you in ways you cannot imagine. In the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, it says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you." So I ask you today, what are you asking for? What are you seeking from God? Don't limit him by what you think is possible. Trust him to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you could ask or think. And I want to remind you of a truth that will transform how you see your situation. God's timing is always perfect. He might not come when you expect, but he will come at just the right time. Your prayers are not unanswered. They are simply being answered in the perfect moment. So stand firm. Keep your faith strong. Hold on to the promises God has spoken over your life, because he is faithful and he will do what he has said. So let me ask you one final question. Do you believe in the miracle that is coming your way? It might be unexpected, it might come in a way you never imagined, but know that it is coming. Trust in God's provision, trust in his timing, and trust that he is able to do more than you can ask or even imagine. Remember, God is not a God of delays. He is a God of divine appointments. He has an appointment with you right now, and He is ready to bless you, to heal you, to restore what has been broken. You are on the brink of a breakthrough, and your moment of divine favor is closer than you think. So don't give up. Don't stop believing. Keep praying, keep trusting, and know that your miracle is already on the way. God sees you, He knows you, and He will never leave you. Keep your eyes fixed on Him, and He will guide you through every storm and into the fulfillment of His promises. My beloved friend, you may be wondering why your miracle hasn't shown up yet, why the breakthrough seems so far away, or why it feels like your prayers have fallen into silence. But I want you to hear this. Your miracle may not come wrapped in the way you expect, but it will come. And when it does, you will know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it was nothing less than God's hand reaching into your life. This is a moment for you to stop and reflect. Have I truly given my worries, my fears, my doubts, and my struggles to God? Or am I still trying to control everything myself? Are you still gripping the oars, trying to row your own boat through the storm? Because when you stop fighting and truly surrender, that's when the storm begins to calm. The seas that have felt so wild and unrelenting will begin to settle under God's power, and you will find peace in His presence. Today, I urge you to stop doubting. Stop looking at the things you can see with your earthly eyes and start believing in what God can do. He is not bound by what we understand or expect. God, the God who parted the Red Sea for Moses, who multiplied loaves and fishes for thousands, and who healed the blind, that same God is reaching for you today. He is not distant or far away. He is right here, right now, reaching His hand toward you. Will you take it? Will you let Him into your heart, into your life, into your struggles? Because when you do, you won't just survive the storm. You will rise above it. You will soar on the wings of faith, and the very winds that once threatened to overwhelm you will now become the wind beneath your wings. The lesson today is simple, yet eternal. God is present, God is powerful, and God is personal. He is not just the God of the Bible, the God of ancient times. He is the same God, yesterday, today, and forever. He is still in the business of calming storms, still in the business of providing the most unexpected blessings, and still answering the cries of His people. And He hears your prayer. Even now, He is listening. He knows your heart, your struggles, and He will provide, just as He always has. And if you are still unsure, still waiting for that breakthrough, I want you to hear this truth. Your breakthrough begins the moment you believe it's possible. Your faith, small as it may feel, moves mountains. Sometimes God doesn't answer in the way we expect, but He answers in His perfect timing, when we are ready, when our hearts are prepared. Trust in that. Trust that God sees you. He has not forgotten you. And no matter how silent the world around you may seem, He is working behind the scenes, aligning things for your good, preparing a way for you where there seems to be no way. You may feel alone, but you are never alone. God is with you. Right now, wherever you are, in the silence, in the chaos, in the moments of doubt, God is with you, and He will never leave you. Just as Psalm 23, verse 1 reminds us, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." God provides, He guides, and He sustains. You are not forgotten. And I encourage you, if you feel this message speaking to your heart, take a moment to say, "God is still in my boat." Let the world know that you believe, that you trust, that you will stand firm in His promises. And finally, if you're in the middle of a storm right now, take heart. You are not fighting this battle alone. God has already won the victory for you. And as Philippians 4 verse 6 reminds us, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." Trust in Him. Your miracle is on the way. Believe it, receive it, and declare it over your life today. What will you do today to take a step of faith? Will you surrender your fears, your doubts, and your worries to God? Are you ready to believe, not in what you see, but in who God is? Take a moment to reflect and let your heart find peace in His promises. God is with you, and He is about to do something miraculous in your life. Keep believing, keep trusting, and watch as He moves on your behalf as you walk through this day. Remember this truth: your miracle will come. It may not come the way you expect, but it will come, and it will be undeniable. Stay in faith. Stay in prayer. Your breakthrough is just around the corner. This is a powerful moment in your life, my friend. Even now, as you read this, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating things in your favor. Perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed, uncertain, or even forgotten. But let me remind you that nothing, not even your deepest struggles, goes unnoticed by God. He is preparing something that will change everything for you, something so much greater than you can imagine. It's hard to trust this when bills are piling up, when your bank account feels empty, and the pressure keeps building. Yet, this is exactly where your faith becomes real. In the silence of waiting, in the moments of doubt, God is at work. This is when His most powerful miracles are born. Have you ever wondered why the greatest blessings often come after the longest waits? The answer is simple. God is never in a rush. He's not hurrying to meet your timeline. He's intentional. He's crafting something perfect, something that fits you and your needs, not just some random gift. This moment you're experiencing, it's no accident. You're here right now reading these words because God wants you to hear them. You were chosen to receive this message today. Let me ask you, are you ready to believe again? Are you willing to trust that the things you can't see, the miracles that are yet to come, are being prepared for you right now? Take a moment to reflect on the story of Job. A man who had everything, from family to wealth, and lost it all. His health deteriorated, his children were gone, and his wealth vanished. And to make matters worse, his friends, those closest to him, turned their backs and accused him of wrongdoing. But here's the remarkable part. Job never gave up on God. Even though he didn't understand why he was suffering, even when he was surrounded by confusion and pain, he trusted. And God didn't just restore Job's life. He gave him double the wealth, double the joy, and double the blessings. God saw every tear that Job shed. He heard every prayer, even those that Job couldn't speak out loud. And that same God is with you right now. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. Right now, even in the midst of your struggles, God is preparing something for you. Something more than just a return to where you were before. He is preparing an increase. Your restoration is coming, and not just a return to what you lost, but an overflow that will far exceed anything you could have imagined. This is how God works. When He blesses abundantly. Your storm is not permanent. It feels overwhelming now, but know this: storms don't last forever. Your storm is passing. The heavens are moving. The angels are already on assignment. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't even entered yet. While you continue to pray in private, God is preparing a public testimony that will silence all doubt. Psalm 20, verse 1 says, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you." Do you believe that God can answer you today? That He can provide for you in ways you didn't even ask for? This isn't just about financial breakthrough. This is about divine provision, unexpected favor, and supernatural blessings. You've been faithful, you've been patient, and now it's time for your reward. God is about to place a gift in your life that you didn't expect, a gift that will show you just how deeply you are loved. God is not a God of scarcity, He is a God of abundance. He does not just give a little, He gives more than enough. As Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20 tells us, "Now to Him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us." This means that even your biggest dreams, your wildest prayers, God can surpass them. What are you expecting today? What are you praying for? What if today is the day God calls your name for favor? What if the money you need, the opportunity you've been waiting for, and the phone call that changes everything are already in motion? Do you believe it? Can you receive it? Because your faith is the key. God is not looking for your perfection, your past accomplishments, or your qualifications. He is looking for trust, belief in His ability to do what He promised. And you must take a step of faith, even if you don't see it yet. Say it with me now. God, I trust You, even in silence, even in lack, even in waiting. This is where heaven opens up and miracles begin to unfold. The enemy will try to convince you that God has abandoned you. He will whisper lies. You're forgotten. You're too far gone. Nothing will change. But these are lies, and today you are breaking their power. You are not forgotten. You are not too far. You are chosen. You are favored. And your story is not over. It's just beginning. God specializes in turning the impossible into the undeniable. And right now, He is writing a new chapter for you, a chapter of abundance, healing, and provision. Will you trust Him enough to receive it? Will you open your heart and say, "Lord, I'm ready"? When you say yes, heaven responds. Your breakthrough is not waiting for a perfect plan. It's waiting for your faith. The moment you believe, everything starts to align. The people, the resources, the peace. All of it begins to move toward you. And if you feel like you've been in a season of silence, remember that God often works the loudest in the silence. The roots of your blessing grow deep before they ever break through the surface. So, don't give up before the miracle. Don't walk away before the blessing. What you've prayed for is closer than you think. You're not here by accident. You are hearing this because it's time. It's time for you to believe again. It's time for you to expect again. It's time for you to open your heart and receive the blessings God has for you. The rain of blessings is about to pour down, not just in drops, but in showers, unexpected, overwhelming, and undeniable. And this time you won't have to strive, beg, or chase after it. This time, it will come to you. God has seen the nights you cried yourself to sleep. He has seen the sacrifices no one else saw. He has heard the prayers no one else knew you whispered, and He is faithful to reward what is done in secret with blessings in public. Are you ready for that? Are you open to the floodgates of heaven opening over your life? Then speak it now. Believe it now. Walk as though it's already yours. And as you do, remember that the same God who restored Job's life is about to restore yours. The same God who gave Job double is preparing to overflow your life with blessings. Breathe deep. Lift your eyes. Speak with faith. Move with confidence. What's coming next will not be small. It will not be ordinary. It will be divine. This is your moment. This is your time. And no one can take away what God has prepared for you. The only question is, will you receive it? One day, as the sun cast its golden glow over a vast, hungry crowd of over 5,000 men, not even counting the women and children, Jesus stood among them, calm and assured, while his disciples grew anxious about the impossible task before them. How would they feed so many with so little? The scarcity of resources felt overwhelming, and they could not see how the situation would ever change. And in that moment, Jesus, fully aware of the overwhelming need, took 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Just 5 loaves and 2 fish. And with his eyes lifted to heaven, he blessed the little they had, and in a miraculous act of divine power, he multiplied it beyond measure. Every single person ate, and they were satisfied. And as if that wasn't enough, there were 12 baskets of leftovers. This wasn't just a miracle that took place in ancient times. It is a living, breathing message for you today. When you offer your little to God, He doesn't just add to it, He multiplies it. He doesn't just meet your needs, He overflows them. He is Jehovah Jireh, your provider, and His promise stands eternal. What is it that you lack today? Is it money, peace, strength, clarity? Know that God is about to meet that need in ways you did not expect and through channels you did not see coming. And I want to share something with you that might shift your perspective on miracles forever. Sometimes God works in the spectacular, but other times He works in silence. Sometimes the greatest miracles are not those that shake the earth, but those that quietly realign your life behind the scenes. Reflect on the times when you were faced with a financial burden, yet somehow the money appeared just in time, or the medical scare that turned out to be nothing at all, or the encouragement that came through a friend's message just when you felt like giving up. That wasn't coincidence. That was God. That was His hand on your life, moving pieces into place, opening doors you didn't even knock on, and closing the ones that would have led you astray. Even now, He is doing the same. His work in your life is a constant. The kingdom of God does not follow human logic. It operates on divine principles. As it is written in Psalm 20, verse 1, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you." That promise was not just for ancient times. It's alive right now, reaching into your life this very minute. You may feel as though your prayers have been buried in silence, but let me speak this truth into your spirit. God has not forgotten you. He has been preparing something so divine, so perfectly tailored to your need, that when it arrives, you'll know it could only be Him. Sometimes, the waiting is where the miracle is being formed. Sometimes, the silence you experience is not God ignoring you, it's Him working deeply, preparing to astonish you with His timing. Just like a farmer waits for a precious harvest, trusting the process beneath the soil, you must trust that God is growing something in your life right now. And I challenge you with this question. What if the thing you thought was a delay was actually divine positioning? What if the lack you've experienced was God's way of setting the stage for the overflow that's about to come? Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22 declares, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and He adds no sorrow with it." Let that truth sink deeply into your spirit. His blessing makes rich, not just financially, but richly in peace, joy, health, and abundance. And here's the deeper truth. God doesn't bless you just for you to enjoy the blessings alone. He blesses you so that you become a vessel of blessings. He wants others to see His divine favor through your life. But to receive these blessings, you must first believe. You must stretch your faith. Speak life over your situation, even when it seems impossible. This is not the moment to doubt. This is the moment to rise and claim what is rightfully yours. Say it aloud now. I receive. When you declare it, you activate it. When you speak it, you welcome it. When you believe it, you align with it. God honors faith. God moves through belief. And today, He is asking you to trust Him with your whole heart. Open your hands. Open your heart. Let go of fear. Let go of doubt. Let the miracle flow in. Don't block what God is trying to give you by clinging to the past. Don't miss what's ahead because you're focused on what's behind. God is doing a new thing in your life, and it starts now. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. This message was meant for you. This is a divine appointment, and I want you to take it seriously. Lift your eyes. Lift your heart. A breakthrough is in motion, and it has your name on it. The floodgates of heaven are opening. The angels are on assignment. Your obedience in prayer, your persistence in faith, and your refusal to give up are all being rewarded. But now, right now, is the moment to claim it. Today is the day to step into the overflow. Wealth, peace, opportunity, restoration, it's all coming. You are entering a season where nothing will be the same again. As you pray to Jesus today, remember that this prayer is not empty. It's powerful. It's shaking the heavens and moving the heart of God. Speak your need. Speak your faith. Speak your expectation. Because God is listening. He is ready to act on your behalf. Your miracle is here. Your breakthrough is in progress. Your blessing is on its way. As you come before God today, remember that the miracle you're waiting for is already on its way. You are not here by accident. This moment is a divine appointment, and God is about to release something extraordinary into your life. The blessings that He has in store for you are not just about wealth, but about peace, restoration, and abundant opportunities. When you open your heart and trust Him fully, you create the space for Him to move powerfully in your life. Today, as you pray, remember that God is always at work, even when you can't see it. Whether it's a financial breakthrough, a new opportunity, or an unexpected blessing, God is orchestrating the perfect timing for you. Trust that He has heard your prayers and that His provision is already set in motion. As you continue in faith, keep speaking life over your circumstances and expect the overflow of blessings He has promised. This is the moment to align your heart with God's will. Speak your faith aloud. Speak your expectations and believe in the goodness of God's timing. Your miracle is already in progress, and the gifts He has prepared for you will come in ways you never imagined. So take a step forward in confidence, knowing that God's promises are true. As you pray, let your heart be open to receiving everything that He has for you. Do not doubt. Know that today is the day that unexpected money, unexpected gifts, and miracles are coming your way. The floodgates of heaven are opening, and it's your time to receive. Trust Him with all your heart and watch as He transforms your life. Your blessing is on its way. Get ready to receive it.